Hmm. Oh, hello there, my friend. I'm just settling in, nice and cozy, ready to take you on a little journey. A dreamy trip back in time, to the stars, to the moon. Let's drift together into the story of Apollo 11, the first time humans touched the lunar surface. Picture it, the 1960s, a world buzzing with hope, wonder, and a touch of cosmic curiosity. Space was the new frontier. Nations looked to the skies, dreaming of what might be. In America, NASA. Oh, those clever folks at NASA. They were working tirelessly, inspired by a bold promise from President John F. Kennedy. Back in 1961, he said, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade." Such ambition, such a gentle dream to chase. Let's float back to July 1969. The world is holding its breath. Apollo 11 is ready to make history. Three brave astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. They're tucked into their spacecraft, a little metal capsule atop a mighty rocket, the Saturn V. Oh, it's a giant, standing so tall, 363 feet of engineering marvel. Can you imagine it? A rocket gleaming under the Florida sun, ready to carry dreams to the stars. On July 16th, 1969, at Cape Kennedy, the countdown begins. T-minus 10, 9, 8. The engines roar to life. Flames and smoke billow out, and up it goes. The Saturn V lifts off, so slowly at first, then faster, piercing the sky. Ground shakes, but up there, it's just quiet, a gentle climb toward the heavens. The astronauts, they're strapped in, feeling the push of the rocket. 3 stages, firing one by one, each stage falling away. Like leaves drifting from a tree, they're heading for orbit, and soon they're weightless, floating. Can you feel it? That soft, weightless calm, like drifting on a cloud. After orbiting Earth, they set their sights on the moon, 240,000 miles away. A 3-day journey through the vast, quiet darkness. The spacecraft, Columbia, carries them with a little lunar module called Eagle. Oh, such a fitting name. A bird ready to land softly on the moon's dusty plains. Let's drift to July 20th, 1969. The Eagle separates from Columbia. Neil and Buzz are inside. Michael stays in orbit, keeping watch. The lunar module descends. Oh, so carefully. The moon's surface is close now, but it's tricky. The computer's struggling. Alarms are beeping. 12:02, 12:01. But the team on Earth, those calm voices at mission control, they guide the Eagle down. Trust and teamwork. Such a soothing thought. Neil Armstrong. He takes control, steering the Eagle, searching for a safe spot. The fuel is low, only seconds left, but there, a smooth patch, and then the Eagle has landed. Oh, those words, so gentle, so historic. The moon is no longer just a dream. It's real. It's right there. A few hours later, Neil steps out. His boots touch the lunar soil. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Such a beautiful moment. Can you see it? The moon's gray dust, the black sky, stars twinkling forever. Buzz joins him, and they're walking, bouncing in that low gravity, like a slow, dreamy dance. They collect rocks, 47 pounds of lunar treasure. They set up experiments, a flag, a plaque that says, "We came in peace for all mankind." Oh, how lovely. Peace. They're on the moon for just over 2 hours, exploring, marveling, then back to the Eagle, ready to return. The ascent is delicate, But the Eagle lifts off. It reunites with Columbia. Michael Collins welcomes them back. Such a kind soul, orbiting alone, waiting. They head home, a gentle fall back to Earth. On July 24th, 1969, they splash down in the Pacific Ocean. Safe, successful. The world cheers, but it's so calm now. Just the sound of waves. Apollo 11. It changed everything. It showed us what we could do. Together, dreaming big. The moon is still there, watching us. A quiet friend in the night sky. And now, as we drift, let's rest. Let's dream of stars, of journeys, of peace. Before we completely part ways for tonight, I want to tell you a bit of interesting facts regarding Apollo 11. There's so many little components that came together to create one of the biggest milestones in modern history. The first fact we'll be discussing is the fact that upon return, the astronauts were placed in quarantine for 21 days. NASA quarantined the Apollo 11 astronauts because scientists were unsure whether the moon harbored potentially dangerous microorganisms, what they called lunar pathogens. The risk was extremely low, but because this was the first mission to return with material from the moon, NASA took no chances. The quarantine lasted 21 days from the moment the lunar module door opened on the recovery ship, lasting from July 24th to August 10th, 1969. They were located in a mobile quarantine facility, a modified Airstream trailer on the USS Hornet, then at the Lunar Receiving Laboratory in Houston, Texas. Their activities in quarantine ranged from medical tests and debriefings, watching TV and reading, Armstrong even celebrating his 39th birthday in quarantine, August 5th. The outcome was no signs of illness or contamination, with the quarantine process was declared a success. But after Apollo 14, it was discontinued for future moon missions due to repeated clean results. The next fact I'd like to discuss is Armstrong carrying a piece of the Wright brothers' airplane with him to the moon. Neil Armstrong carried a piece of the Wright Flyer, the first powered aircraft flown by the Wright brothers in 1903, because it symbolized the progress of human flight in just 66 years, wanting to bring apart a piece in history that preceded what would become his accomplishment to the field. What exactly Armstrong took was a small piece of wood from the Wright Flyer's propeller and a piece of fabric from its wing covering. Both were about the size of a postage stamp, and these were encased in a protective pouch and carried in Armstrong's personal preference kit, PPK. The final fact I'd like to discuss is the fact that Armstrong had less than 30 seconds of fuel remaining at touchdown. As the Eagle approached the surface, the onboard guidance computer suddenly triggered a 1202 program alarm, then a 1201 alarm. These were priority overflow warnings. The computer was receiving too much input at once and couldn't keep up. Flight Director Gene Kranz and the guidance officer, Steve Bales, had to make a snap decision: continue the landing or abort. The call came back: go. The alarms weren't critical. The descent continued. As they neared their programmed landing area, Armstrong looked out the window and saw a large boulder field, not safe to land. The lunar module's automated landing system would have set them down in the middle of it. Armstrong took manual control of the LM to steer to a safer location. A big risk. It was very clear from the cockpit that that was not a good place to land, Armstrong later said. Armstrong had to fly the LM like a helicopter, skimming over the surface at low altitude. The problem? Doing this used up precious descent fuel much faster than a straight down approach. Buzz Aldrin called out telemetry and altitude, helping Armstrong focus on flying. Armstrong was concentrating so hard he didn't respond to radio calls for almost a minute. At 60 seconds of fuel remaining, Mission Control gave them a 60 seconds call. At 30 seconds, they still weren't on the ground. Armstrong was looking for the right flat spot and trying to settle down gently without crashing. Telemetry later showed the lunar module had only about 17 to 20 seconds of fuel left when they finally touched down.